It's all about region and inequalities. Okay? Now, I want you to copy this diagram, please, in your book. So consider the diagram below. Okay, so consider the diagram below. Okay, so you have the number plane. And then from the moment that you draw a straight line like this one, okay, from the moment that you draw that line, you divide the number plane into two regions. Okay, can you see that? Okay, so we're going to call the region above the line, we're going to call this R1, and the region below R2. Let's say that R2. Okay, so we got R1 and R2. And then it is reasonable to say that only points, so we're going to say here, only points that lie on the line will satisfy its equation. Okay, does it make sense? Okay, so only point that lie on this line will satisfy this equation. But you can see on the number plane there are many, many more points. Actually, there are an infinite number of points. Okay? So we have point above the line. So we have point above the line. And also we have point below the line. Okay, the point, we're going to say the point above the line. Okay, so the point above, or point above the line will satisfy the relation ax plus by plus c greater than 0, or ax plus by plus c is less than 0. Okay, that is logic. Okay, so any point in this line will satisfy this equation, which is ax plus by plus c equals 0. So that means that any point in here, in R1 or R2, will satisfy this one or that one, depending on the equation. Right? So our task is to see how we're going to determine, the correct inequality. Can you see that when you have a line, point that lies on the line represent, a function. So we're going to have a function. So this is a linear function. But from the moment that you're talking about point in any other place but the line, well, it's not going to be a function anymore. Okay, so this is not a function anymore. This is not a function anymore. Okay, because there are many, many points that will satisfy, this two inequality. Okay. We're going to say 2 I'm going to change this. Similarly, point below the line will satisfy one of the inequalities, inequality above. All right. Okay, so similarly, the point below the line will satisfy one of the inequality above. Okay, so we don't know which one will satisfy this inequality and which one will satisfy this one. Okay, so now we're going to do an example to illustrate how we're going to find the answer for that problem. Okay, we're going to say this. To determine the correct inequality, we do as follows. All right. Okay, so to determine the correct inequality, we do as follows. Example. Are you okay? Have you copied all this? Okay. Example. Consider the line L 2x plus 3y plus 1 equal 0. Number 1, sketch the line on a number plane to label the region above and below the line, R1 and R2 respectively. Three, select a point from R1 and substitute it into the expression and substitute it into the expression 2x plus 3y plus 1 to determine whether the answer is positive or negative. Okay, so that is what we're going to do. We're going to do this 3-step, and then we'll see what to do after that. Okay, so we're going to say solution. We're going to see how we do this question, and this question will illustrate, what we're going to be doing from now on when doing regions. Okay, so one example is more than enough to see what to do for all of them. All right? Okay, so step number 1, they say that you need to sketch the line. Okay, so step number 1, we need to sketch the line, so we're going to draw a number plane. And then we're going to find the intercept of this line with the axis. Okay, so we're going to say when x equal, for example. So we're going to say when x equal 0, y is going to be equal to, okay, what's going to happen when x equals 0? So if you make y the subject, then we're going to have 3y plus 1 equals 0. And then we're going to have y is equal to negative 1/3, all right? Okay, so if you make x equals 0, then we're going to have only 3y plus 1 equals 0. And then making y the subject, then we're going to have y is equal to negative 1/3. Negative 1/3. Okay, let's say that a negative 1/3 is somewhere here. Okay, so this is negative 1/3. Yes.
How did you do the y again?
All right, so if you want to find the intercept of this line with the axis, because we know that this line is going to be somewhere like this or like this, we don't know yet. Okay, but when you sketch, it's good to know where the line cuts, the axis, and then you can draw the line through those points. Okay. So when x equals 0, so if you make x equals 0 in here, okay, so you have only that, right? Yeah. Okay, and then you're going to have 3y plus 1 equals 0, and then you make y the subject. Okay, and then we're going to say also when y equals 0. So now if you make y equals 0 and make x the subject, then you're going to have x is equal to, what is that? Negative half, all right. Okay, so we're going to put negative half somewhere. It's not to scale, all right? So negative half. And then we can draw the line. Okay, so that is the equation of the line, or that is the picture of the line 2x plus 3y plus 1 equal 0. Okay, so we got that. And then you can see that, this line divide the number plane into region. Okay, and I said that we're going to label the top one 1 and the bottom one 2. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write this down here so then the picture doesn't look too heavy. So I say when x equals 0, comma, y is equal to negative 1/3, and y equals 0, mean x equal to negative half. All right, so we have the picture there. Okay, so we have done the first part and the second part, all right? Okay, now we're going to do the third part. Okay, the third part, select a point from R1. So we're going to select a point, any point from R1. And then we're going to substitute that point and see whether the answer is positive or negative. because that will tell you, which one of those inequality that I showed you before will be satisfied, right? Okay. Now, pay attention to this. If the line doesn't go through 0, 0, that is the point that you are going to select all the time. Okay, because it's easier. When you substitute it, then it's so easy. Okay, so we're going to substitute this point here. Okay, we're going to say in here. From R1, we select the point 0, 0, and then we're going to substitute that point into the expression and determine whether the answer is positive or negative. Okay, so so from R1 we select the point 0, 0 and substitute to this point into 2x plus 3y plus 1. Okay, so meaning, so we're going to substitute the point. So it's going to be 2 times 0 plus 3 times 0 plus 1, and that is greater than 0. Okay? All right? Conclusion. R1, that region, is the set of all points that satisfy 2x plus 3y plus 1 greater than 0. So if you select any other point, from R1, you're going to see that that point will satisfy this inequality. Yes.
What about negative quarter?
Negative quarter. Well, test it and see what happens.
And it's negative quarter.
Yes.
It's not greater than 0.
Yeah, but so that means that that point that you're talking about is not in R1, is in R2.
But it's on the side of the line.
So if you do that to a scale, and see what happens. There you go. Well, it should work then. It should work. Okay, and then we're going to say and therefore R2. Okay, therefore R2 will satisfy this inequality. So the other one, 2x plus 3y plus 1 is less than 0. Okay, so that means that if you pick a point here, or let's say if you pick, for example, negative 2 in here, and substitute that point, you're going to see that the answer is less than 0. Okay, so you can test that. For example, we're going to say, for instance, if we select point 0, negative 2, okay, so if we select that point and substitute that point into the expression to x plus 3y plus 1, we obtain we obtain 2 times 0 plus 3 times negative 2 plus 1. What's the answer for that? positive or negative? Is that positive or negative? So it's negative, all right? So I mean it satisfies, this inequality. Now, in tests, normally they're going to ask you to shade some region, and then to do that, you're going to have to do basically what we just did. Okay, so in tests, they're going to ask you to sketch. So application, we're going to say application. Sketch the region from the number plane that satisfy 2x plus 3y plus 1 greater than 0. Okay, so in tests you're going to have questions like this, Sarah. Okay, so you're gonna have questions in which they say sketch the region from the number plane that satisfy this inequality. All right? So what you are going to do, you're going to say solution. First of all, you're going to sketch it. So you're going to draw the line and everything. And then you're going to have a test point. Okay, so you're going to say, for example, test point. And then you pick, a good point. So like I say, if 0 is not part of the line, then you can pick 0. So we're going to test point 0. And then we know that when you substitute that, we're going to have 2 times 0 plus 3 times 0 plus 1 is greater than 0. So therefore, you say the region that I need to shade is the one that, has 0.00 in it. And we know that is going to be this one. So I mean that you should do this. Now, there is one thing that we need to change in that picture. Can you see that in here they say that you have to sketch the region from the number plane that satisfies this when it's greater than 0? So I mean that doesn't include the line. Okay, so I mean that we do this, and then you should have this continue line here, because we are not allowed to touch the line. So if this was greater than or equal to 0, then yeah, you include the line. Okay? All right, let's do another one. And this is only, a linear illustration, but this works when you have, circle, when you have parabolas, when you have hyperbola, is exactly the same thing. And then another question that you're going to have in tests is when you have two lines intersecting. Okay, and then you have to find, the region that will satisfy that. For example, what I'm saying is this. So you may have a situation like this. You're going to have one line, and then you're going to have another line. Okay, so you're going to have one line and two lines, and then you're going to have to find, for example, the inequality that will satisfy that one, right? Okay. Now, let's do another example. Okay, exercise. Show the region of the number plane that satisfy the inequality uh, 2x minus 3y minus 4 is less than and equal to 0. Okay, let's say that you have that question there. Okay, show the region of the number plane that satisfies the inequality 2x minus 3y minus 4 less than and equal to 0. All right. Step number 1, we're going to sketch the line. And then we're going to choose a point, and then we're going to see whether that point satisfies or no. And then that will make you, or that will let you to decide whether you have shaded the correct region. Okay, so solution. Okay, so we're going to draw the number plane. And then we're going to sketch that. Okay, so we're going to do the same. So when x equals 0, okay, so when x equals 0, we're going to have minus 3y minus 4 equal to 0. So we're going to say equal. Okay, so we're going to say when x equals 0, y is going to be equal to what? First thing that you have to do is to sketch the line. Okay, so here you're supposed to be doing this one, equal to. Okay, so when x equals 0, y is going to be equal to what? From here. If you make y the subject from negative 3y minus 4 equals 0, what? So it's going to be 1 1/4? Negative or positive? Negative, okay? So it's going to be negative 1 and? Sorry? Negative 1 and a third, all right. Okay, so it's going to be negative 1 and a third. All right. So let's say that we are somewhere here. Negative 1 and 1/3. Okay, and then when y equals 0, x is going to be equal to. Okay, so when y equals 0, then you're going to have 2x minus 4 equals 0. Okay, so you're going to have 2x. So therefore, x is going to be equal to 2. That's it. So that is easy. Okay, so that x is equal to somewhere here. Okay, and then you're going to draw your beautiful line. Okay, so you draw the line. And by the way, you must indicate the intercept. Okay, so you must indicate that. You don't need to scale. You don't need to scale, you know, the whole number plane. Okay, but you need to show where the line intercepts the axis. All right? Okay. And also, again, you've got to be sensible. It's no way that you're going to put negative 1/3 in here and you're going to put 2 in there. Yeah.
Would you, that line, instead of being called 2x minus 3y minus 4 is less than or equal to 0, would just be equal to 0?
Yeah, yes. Yes, that is the line that you're going to be using to find x and y. Okay, and then remember our problem.
Do you have to name the line?
Yeah, you have to draw the line.
But do you have to name it?
Yes. So that is a good point. So you're going to name the line. So this is the line 2x minus 3y minus 3y minus 4 equal 0, because that is the one that will be dividing the number plane. Okay, and then we're going to have to decide whether we shade the upper section or the lower section. To do that, well, again, okay, let's pick this point here. If this point satisfies the original inequality, okay, so if this point satisfies the original inequality, we know that we're going to be shading, you know, the upper section. If this point fails this inequality, then we shade the other one. Okay, so that is simple. All right, so we're going to say test point. Part 2, we're going to say test point. Test point 0, 0. It is clear that, you know, if the line passes through 0, 0, then you're going to pick a different point. Okay, but you've got many, many points to choose from. It's not whether you're going to choose, you know, negative 1/3 and then comma a square root of 2 divided by 3. No way. So you're going to pick always point along the axis. All right? Believe me, some people do so, but not at that extreme. Okay, and then we're going to substitute. So we're going to say, so 2 times 0 minus 3 times 0 minus 4. Okay, so is that clear? That is a negative, so it's less than 0. Okay, so it's less than 0. So that means that it satisfies in this inequality, so that means that we need to shade the top bit. Okay. Right.
Would you say therefore like that, wait, therefore like R1 satisfies the equation? Does that make sense?
No, what you say, or what you do, you put the name of this region in here, so you put just 2x minus 3y minus 4 less than or equal to 0. Okay, so that is what you're doing. Okay, let's do another one. But this time we're going to be doing a parabola, all right? Okay, so exercise number 2. So this is exercise number 1. Okay, exercise number 2. Sketch the region that satisfy the equation y is greater than or equal to x squared plus 2. All right. Okay, so sketch the region that satisfies the equation y is greater than or equal to x squared plus 2. All right? So solution. So we're going to sketch this. So we're going to use y equal to x squared plus 2 to split, you know, the number plane. So, and you know that this is the very popular parabola. What can you tell about this parabola?
It's going to like begin at that point at 2, y-2.
Yeah, it cuts the y-axis up 2.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's just like that, but on 2.
Yeah, and then is concave up.
Sure.
Okay? Sure. All right, okay. Concave up. Okay, so we got this is 2. Okay, so that is the problem. And then you can see there are point inside of the parabola and there are point outside of the parabola. Okay, and that's what we need to check, which point will satisfy that inequality. Okay, same thing. You can select 0, 0 again, or you can select any number you want. So you can select, for example, 3. So you can pick the number or the point 0, 3, but yeah, let's pick 0, 0. It's the easiest one. Okay, so we have this picture, and then 2, test point, again 0, 0. And then we're going to see what happens when we substitute this point into the very original inequality, right? So we're going to say 0 is that greater? So we're going to put question mark at the end. 0 and greater than 0 square plus 2. So we're going to put question mark there. Is that true or false? False. Okay, so you say no. So therefore, the point 0.00 does not satisfy the inequality y greater than or equal to x squared plus 2. So therefore the solution is shown below. All right, okay, and then you know that this point 0, doesn't satisfy the inequality, so that means that we need to shade the interior of a parabola. Okay, so it's going to be any point in the inside of this.
So it's plus 2, not plus 1.
Isn't it the same? Okay, plus 2. Okay. So you can see that after all, this is not too complicated. Okay, so it's just sketching and then selecting a point and see whether the point satisfies, some of the inequality, and then you're done.
Is it generally anytime it's more, it's up?
Not necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily.
That's annoying, isn't it?
No. Okay, now let's say that we have something a little bit more challenging. Okay, so this is 3. Sketch the region of the number plane that satisfies y equal x squared minus 1 and 2x minus y is less than or equal to 0. Okay, so this time we have two things. Okay, so sketch the region on the number plane that satisfies this one and that one, and then you're going to do another one. X squared plus y squared is less than or equal to 9, and y equal x plus 1. All right, why not? Okay, so each one of these questions involve two functions, or two different curves, would you say? Okay, the first one involves a parabola and a straight line. Can you see that? Okay, the first is a parabola that cuts the y-axis at -1 and is concave up. So it's got like this. All right, so this is y equal x squared minus 1. By the way, this should be greater than, okay, greater than.
So what about the one down the bottom right where it's y equals x plus 1?
Same, I need to put the less than.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the picture for x squared minus 1, and then we need to sketch this one. Okay, so when x equals 0, okay, so I'm going to picture this being an equation. So 2x minus y equals 0, and then when x equals 0, y is going to be equal to. Say that again. Okay, so if you picture this as being an equation, okay, so the equation 2x minus y equals 0, and then if you make x equals 0, what is the answer for y?
2x is less than or equal to y? I don't know what we're saying.
Yeah. All right. So if you make x equals 0, so then you're going to 2 times 0 minus y equals 0, okay? And then y is going to be equal to 0. Okay, so when I say...
Because it's 0 minus what? You're saying 0 minus what equals 0?
Okay, when x equals 0, comma, y is going to be equal to 0. That's it. Okay, and then when y equals 0, x is also equal to 0, all right? Okay, so it's passing through that point there. Okay, and that doesn't help much, okay, because we need another point. Okay, so we're going to have to draw another point. So we're going to say when x is equal to 1. Okay, when x equal to 1, for example, what's the answer for y?
What?
When x when x is equal to 1.
Wouldn't it still be 0?
2?
2 less than 2.
So it's going to be 2. Okay, so I want you to picture this to be an equation. So it's going to be when x equals 1. When x equals 1, then what's going to happen? So you're going to have 2 times 1, which is 2, and then y is equal to 2. Yeah. So this is 1 and 2. Let's say that is somewhere here. All right. Okay, and then...
Y equals 1, then x equals half.
What?
Is that right? When y equals 1, x equals half?
Yeah, but we need only one more point. Don't worry. Yeah, no, it's fine. You're right. But we don't need any more points. So, okay, so we only these 2 points. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw this. Right. So you have that picture. Okay. So we have these 2. Okay, and we need to sketch the region that will satisfy these 2 things simultaneously. Okay, the way that you do this, you test a point. We're going to test a point for the parabola first, and then we're going to shade, this inequality. I guess we're going to say just quiet. All right. Okay, so we're going to say for y greater than x squared plus 1, test point 0.
It's
0? Minus 1, yeah. Okay, let's test that point and see if that point belongs to.
But we can't test the point because it's not like that at the moment.
Yeah, but we're talking about the parabola. Okay, we're talking about parabola. Okay, so if you substitute that point, then we're going to have 0 is greater than or equal to 0 squared minus 1.
No.
Is the answer yes or no? True or false?
That's me driving away from the answer because it's wrong.
Yes.
No.
Is that yes or
I
no?
read it wrong. I said it said less than or equal to.
But what?
Wait.
Oh.
Yeah. We did the same thing, Ethan. Don't worry.
Okay, so that means that for our parabola, we need to shade the interior, okay? So we need to shade the interior.
I need like rainbow pens.
And then you're going to be using different color. So you're going to use different color. And then for 2x minus y less than or equal to 0, test point. What point do you want to test mirror for the line for this one? So we're talking about this line.
You're definitely gonna go where y is equal to 102.
No, just
Equal to 0.
yeah, pick any number along this line. 7. All right, why not?
What's that line thing called?
So is 0,
What's that?
7,
shape?
parabola.
Parabola.
Okay, so Mira is selecting this point somewhere here. Okay, so this point 0 to 7, just to see whether we have to shade the upper section or the lower section. All right. Okay, let's substitute. So we have 2 times 0 minus 7. Is that less than or equal to 0? Is that true or false? Because she wants to.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
because it already
true.
went through 0, 0.
That's a true.
I see.
But you could have picked, 1 or 2, but she wants 7. Why not? Okay, is that true or false, Mira?
True.
Yes.
That must look down.
Okay, so let me see if I have another color. I used to have a blue one. Anyway, so we need to shade, pay attention, we need to shade which section. So we need to shade, can you say that this point satisfy this inequality? Okay, so that means that we need to shade for the line, we need to shade all this. All right, but then you're gonna see where they overlap. Okay, can you see that they are overlapping inside the parabola, but above this line here? Okay, so I mean that the region that we're talking about is going to be that one. Everything inside of the parabola, but above, this line. Okay, so this question requires patience, but they are all easy. They're easy, but it requires patience. Okay, so you're gonna have to draw the picture, draw the line, highlight it, and yeah, that's how you do it in the test. Okay, and then what you specify. Okay, so you can put an arrow here, and you can put whatever you want. You can say solution, just to indicate that this section here is the answer. Now, is the green line continuous or discontinuous? Is this line continue or broken?
It is
Oh, it's
continued because it's all equal.
Continue because they are all equal. Okay, so I mean that
Look at me go, so
if you want to highlight the whole thing, you should.
give me a medal.
All right, I'm gonna think about it. All right. Okay, and then if you want, you can highlight a little bit more, the region that you're talking about. Okay, now, the next question. Can you please do the second one?
What is that?
Can I wrap it off?
Solve
Can I wrap this off?
Yeah.
Okay, what sort of picture is this one?
It is a
Parabola.
See, I just wait and then people answer.
What is this?
Oh no, that's a circle. Yeah.
Of course it is a circle. We went through this, remember? This is the equation of a circle.
Does that mean when the point's 3, the radius is 3?
That's it.
3, 3.
That's it.
3,
Yes.
3.
Yes. Okay, so this is a circle center at the origin with radius equal 3. Okay, the whole thing is 3. All right.
The world is 3.
Okay. You are 3. Okay. All right, can you please draw the picture quickly? Because then I need to put some exercises there that you need to do. Sarah, how are you feeling? Still a little bit sick? Yeah, you look tired. But today it's a good day because after this holiday, okay, so you're gonna have a little bit of a break.
I drew my circle very uncircle-ish. Like, again, I'm not even going to explain what it is.
How do you explain what a circle is? Did you make it an oval?
Do you want me to do it? I'll explain it. It looks like I drew a circle and then I kind of grabbed it and then squished it a little bit that way. And then this side came up a bit more. So it's like oval, but like not even a good oval because it's lopsided. The YouTube fan gets to all hear that. Explanation about my lopsided.
Okay.
Got you again, sir.
Okay, so that is what you have. Okay, so you have a circle center at the origin.
Negative 3.
-3.
Get 2 medals.
Okay.
He said okay.
Okay, and then we're gonna see if the origin satisfy this inequality. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna say for x squared plus y squared equal 9, or less than or equal to 9. Test point. Again, you can see that 0, 0 is very popular. So we have that 0 squared plus y plus 0 squared again. Is that less than or equal to 9? Is that true or false?
What?
Is that true or false?
Yes, it's true.
Okay, so that means that we're talking about the interior. So we're talking about this interior region. Okay. So that was easy. And then for y less than or equal to x plus 1, test point, can we use 0, 0? Of course we can, because I can see that this line, x plus 1, go like this. Okay, so this is y equal x plus 1. And this is 1. Okay, so we're going to say, I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to come back to how we sketch this one, all right? Okay, so test point 0, 0, and then we're going to say 0 less than or equal to 0 plus 1. Is that true or false? Sarah? Is 0 less than or equal to 0 plus 1? True or false?
0 is less. Oh, yeah, 0 is less.
Yes, of course. Okay, so that means that we need to shade this region here.
We're like, which side did you go on?
Okay, should we include the borders?
What?
Should we include?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then if you want, you can, mark the region.
Because that's where
Yeah.
it's going to go down. Okay.
That's it. And then you put solution there. Solution.
Whoa, what the heck did I do?
Right. Now, sketching. Are you okay? Are you okay sketching, this line? Because you say, okay, when x equals 0.
No, I didn't, but you did it. So.
Yeah. No, but have a look. Okay, let's try. When x equals 0, what's the answer for y? 1. Okay, so when x equals 0, y is equal to 1. That's why we went up to 1 here.
Sure.
Okay, and then when y equals 0, what is the answer for x? Negative 1. That's why we went up to here. So you can even
Oh, cool.
plot this point here, negative 1. Okay, so that is the answer for that region.
I can't see any of my dots anymore because of all my colouring. Look, Mum, look, that's cool.
Okay, now it is time for you to work.
Also, think you would say time for a break.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, look, the bell just went. Wow.
Okay, so this,
I want to read my letter.
all this was only a warm-up. Okay, so all this was only a warm-up. Now you're going to start working. Okay, Sarah. Sarah, you can stop it.